Have you ever been out traveling for work or vacation and then you want a good workout, but you're dealing with a gym like this? And this is all that you have? I've been out. I've been traveling. I don't know if you can tell. I got a little tan going. So this is what I've been dealing with for the past few weeks. And is it optimal? No. But can we still get a good workout in? Yes. I always say only the committed will work out in a hotel gym. Now, you're not going to make some crazy gains. That is for sure. But you will maintain some strength. You might gain some strength. You can definitely get a good workout in. So today, I'm going to walk you through my full upper body lift with basically just this. Let's get into it. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is a shoulder press. The dumbbells only go up to 50 pounds, so that's why I'm starting with the shoulder press. Out of my back, my chest, arms, shoulders, I guess maybe my arms, but shoulders are definitely gonna be the weakest compound movement. So I can go heavier and almost hit weight that I would normally do. Yes, the reps are gonna be higher, but if I'm gonna do chest press first movement, I'm gonna be doing reps of like 30. Whereas with shoulder press, I'm gonna hit more like 10 to 15. And what you wanna keep in mind is shorter rest. That's one way to make progress in the gym is cut down your rest time and still lift the same amount of weight. That is still progress. So when you're only dealing with 50-pound dumbbells, cut your rest time down. So first movement, we're gonna do shoulder press. We're gonna warm up and then we'll get into 3 sets of 10 to 15 with 60-second rest. The nice thing about when you only have 50-pound dumbbells is you never really have to worry about re-racking your weight. You're just using the same weight the entire workout. Okay, shoulder press done. Now, since we've got a full body workout, we're focusing on compound movements. And I like to go back and forth between a push and a pull. So we just did shoulder press. Now we got to figure out what we're gonna do for back. But have no fear, we got a movement for that. Typically, when I do my compound movements with back, I'm doing one horizontal pull and one vertical pull, like a pull down, pull ups. Now, we don't have any sort of machine or pull up bar in here, so vertical is gonna be challenging. So first, we're gonna do a horizontal pull. Now, we're gonna do single arm rows. And yes, trust me, I'm not the strongest person ever in this, but I can still lift some heavy ass weights with this row. We only have 50-pound dumbbells. So like I said before, slow and controlled. No motion, no swinging, just all back, focusing on the stretch at the bottom and the squeeze at the top. No swinging, slow and controlled. Now keep in mind, it is not gonna feel heavy on your first set, but we're having short rest periods. So come the second, the third period, you're slowly gonna fatigue, and that 50-pound weight is gonna start to feel just a little bit heavier. In a real gym with some heavier weight, I get a little bit wider of a stance, and you're still doing the full weight forward, pull back, squeeze back here. You're still doing that same motion, but you just got a wider base so you can kind of get some motion in it and really focus on the decentric. But since I'm using heavier weight, I'm keeping my feet close, and I'm still even more so now focusing on that stretch and that squeeze, and keeping my feet closer tightens up that base and really just puts all the emphasis on your back instead of giving you a little bit of power from your legs. Now it's time for chest. And 50-pound dumbbells doing a flat chest press, you're gonna be here all day. You're doing cardio at that point, because honestly, you can rep these babies out. Even a 60-second rest, maybe your last set, you start to feel some fatigue. What I always try to do when I'm dealing with gyms like this is do a little bit of an incline. Yes, we already did shoulder press, so we might be touching it a little bit more, but we probably can take a little more fatigue to our shoulders. Incline bench, especially for me, I can't lift as much in general with it. So then all of a sudden the 50-pound dumbbells start to feel a little bit more realistic. And who's ever gonna complain about some more upper chest development? So same thing here, super slow and controlled, short rest. You can even go down to 45 seconds if you want, but be careful because like I said, it starts to turn a little bit into cardio. Now, if that's what you're after, go ahead, but if you're after strength gains, right? So focus on the movement, slow and controlled, probably go, we'll see, probably 10 to 20 reps. I'm not gonna get over 20, definitely gonna get more than 10 though. And we'll do 3 sets of that. All right, guys, we had some other hotel guests come and join the gym during this workout. So my next movement was actually the inclined press like I was talking about. But with people walking around, I didn't want to film with them in the background. Everybody's just trying to get their workout in, trying to keep my own space. So I didn't film my incline set. I only filmed a couple shots of the rest of the sets. So sorry I didn't get footage of incline, but next movement is this overhead pull down, you could call it, trying to mimic a rope pull down like you would from a machine to really work out your lats. So that's how I kind of get flexible with vertical movement of back. So I did my horizontal, then vertical. Now we're into what I would say is my favorite shoulder movement of all time. It is these lateral raises. And good thing about being in a gym, or one of the not bad things, is they got weight heavy enough for these lateral raises so you can actually go heavy and do progressive overload in your traditional sense. So here I did 3 sets of 8, trying to just have a slight pause at the top, continue down, not swing too much, but a little bit to force some progressive overload. And now we're really just wrapping up this workout just like we would with any other workout. We're doing skull crushers, which is one of my favorite moves. I got to be careful not to do it too often though, otherwise I start to get some elbow pain, and especially if I start to go too heavy. So we do 3 sets of 15 to 20, anything in that range with weight that feels heavy but doesn't put too much stress on the elbow. Now, you know we're going to finish up a workout with some arms, some curls. Here I'm doing hammer curls. And again, if you have dumbbells going up to 50 pounds, that's all you need, especially for arms. You're not, some people, for most people, you don't need heavier than 50-pound dumbbells to get a good arm workout. 20s, 25, 30, 35, all the way, 50 pounds, yes, but you don't really need to go over that for arms. So when you think about it, the only areas that you really end up needing to get
creative for is your heavier compound movements. So this was a full upper body day. So I did shoulders in the beginning, back, chest, shoulders, arms, and really only the first couple movements you needed heavier dumbbells than what you had. And yes, having machines, getting a little creative, hitting different motions, different stretches. Yes, that is all great. But really, to get a solid workout, you only really need to get creative for a couple things. So when you get to the back end of the workout, you can just wrap it up like you would any other workout. One thing I'm going to say here is I finish up this workout with 2 sets of failure to push up. Is when you do have lighter weight, you have shorter rest, and you want to push to failure a little bit more. You really want to exhaust that muscle. When you're in a real gym with heavier weights, you can just slowly progress and you don't actually have to go to failure every set, every exercise. But if you are doing a lighter workout like this, burnout sets are your friends. So thank you for being flexible with this little mic'd up escapade. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but back to the video.
All right, guys, sorry to cut over to a voiceover in the middle of the video, but trying to be respectful of everyone else trying to get their workout in. And honestly, that was a pretty good workout. And that just goes to show that if you're committed and you're a little creative and you start to tweak a little things, you can still make a lot of progress. You can still make gains. Not the most optimal, but who lives the most optimal life? Anyways, so I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, keep working, keep pursuing greatness, keep sticking to those hotel workouts, and I'll see you in the next one.